Imagine standing on a massive fog-shrouded mountain blindfolded. Your task is to find the absolute lowest point of the valley. You cannot see the landscape, you have no map, and you can only feel the slope beneath your boots. One step too large and you fly off a cliff. One step too small and you freeze on the slopes. This blind search is the exact mathematical challenge that every modern artificial intelligence faces. When a neural network learns, it is not thinking, it is stumbling down a mountain in the dark. This mountain is the lost landscape, and the search method is gradient descent. Understanding this reveals how models like ChatGPT or Midjourney learn anything at all. In this video, we will look at the actual geometry of machine learning. We will visualize how a neural network starts with complete chaos and through a series of calculated steps carves out order. We will walk through the core mathematics of gradient descent, look at why simple gravity fails in high-dimensional space, and see how algorithms like stochastic gradient descent, momentum, REM-sprop, and atom act as the steering wheels of AI. To understand how a machine learns, we must measure its mistakes. When training a neural network, we feed it data and measure its errors using a loss function. Our goal is simple: find the parameters, weights, and biases that reduce this error to zero. If our model has only two parameters, we can plot the loss for every combination as a 3D surface, the loss landscape. Valleys represent near-perfect predictions. To find the valley, we use the gradient, a vector of partial derivatives pointing in the direction of steepest ascent. Since it points up, we walk in the opposite direction. We capture this update rule in the equation. Theta sub t plus 1 equals theta sub t minus alpha times the gradient with respect to theta of L of theta sub t. Here, theta sub t is the parameter vector at the current step t, theta sub t plus 1 is the parameter vector at the next step, alpha is the learning rate controlling the step size, and the gradient with respect to theta of L of theta sub t is the gradient vector of the loss function with respect to the parameters. See this in action? Let us trace a simple one-dimensional loss function where L of theta equals theta squared, which has a gradient of 2 theta. Setting our learning rate alpha equals 0.1 and starting at theta sub 0 equals 1.0, the gradient is 2.0. We calculate our next position as theta sub 1 equals 1.0 minus 0.1 times 2.0, which equals 0.8. Repeating this slide brings us to the minimum, as shown in the table. The gradient trace table shows that starting from a parameter value of 1.0 at step 0, the parameter value decreases steadily over 5 steps to 0.3277, while the gradient shrinks from 2.0 to 0.8192, demonstrating convergence toward the minimum of 0. In high-dimensional space, the curvature of our landscape is described by a matrix of second derivatives called the Hessian. H is a 2 by 2 matrix with first row the second partial derivative of L with respect to theta sub 1 squared, and the second partial derivative of L with respect to theta sub 1 theta sub 2, and second row the second partial derivative of L with respect to theta sub 2 theta sub 1, and the second partial derivative of L with respect to theta sub 2 squared. At flat spots where the gradient is 0, we examine the eigenvalues of this Hessian. For L of theta sub 1, theta sub 2 equals theta sub 1 squared minus theta sub 2 squared, the Hessian at the origin is a 2 by 2 matrix with first row 2, 0 and second row 0, negative 2. This matrix has eigenvalues of 2 and negative 2. Because one eigenvalue is positive and the other is negative. The landscape curves up in one direction and down in another, creating a saddle point. In deep learning, these saddle points are far more common than local minima, creating flat plateaus where learning stalls. To compute the exact gradient, we must evaluate our model on every single sample, a method called batch gradient descent. For datasets with billions of sentences, this single step takes hours. Stochastic gradient descent, or SGD, solves this by picking one random sample to compute the gradient and update parameters. It is incredibly fast but highly chaotic, creating a jagged zigzag path downhill. Minibatch gradient descent balances these extremes. We split our dataset into small groups, typically 32 to 256 samples, and compute their average gradient. This provides a stable estimate while leveraging graphics processing units for parallel processing, making it the workhorse of modern artificial intelligence. Think of mapping a country's elevation. Batch gradient descent is like visiting every single house before drawing a map. It is accurate but takes years. Stochastic gradient descent is like visiting one random house and drawing a map. It is instant but wild. Minibatch gradient descent is like surveying 64 houses spread across different regions. It is fast, representative, and practical. Even with minibatches, standard gradient descent struggles in ravines, which are long, narrow valleys where the walls are steep, but the floor slopes gently toward the minimum. A standard gradient descent ball bounces back and forth between the walls, making almost no progress along the floor. To fix this, we look to physics and introduce momentum. We treat updates as rolling a heavy ball down the slopes, accumulating velocity and inertia. We implement this behavior using two coupled update equations, v sub t equals beta times v sub t minus 1 plus g sub t, and theta sub t plus 1 equals theta sub t minus alpha times v sub t. Here, v sub t is the velocity vector, beta is the decay factor, typically 0.9, g sub t is the current gradient, alpha is the learning rate, and theta sub t is the parameter vector. Imagine a valley floor where the gradient is consistently g sub t equals 0.5. With decay factor beta equals 0.9 and starting velocity v sub 0 equals 0, our first velocity is v sub 1 equals 0.5. In the second step, velocity builds to v sub 2 equals 0.9 times 0.5 plus 0.5, which equals 0.95. By the third step, it reaches v sub 3 equals 0.9 times 0.95 plus 0.5, which equals 1.355. Eventually, velocity reaches a terminal limit of v sub infinity equals 0.5 divided by the quantity 1 minus 0.9, which equals 5.0. Momentum scales our step size by 10 in the direction of consistent progress. Meanwhile, in the direction of the steep walls where the gradient oscillates, opposing steps cancel each other out, dampening oscillations. While momentum helps us navigate valleys, it uses a single learning rate for all parameters. In complex models, some weights update constantly, while others update once in 1,000 steps. A single learning rate is suboptimal. To solve this, we need adaptive learning rates. REM-SPROP scales the learning rate of each parameter by dividing it by the running average of its squared gradients. If a parameter oscillates wildly, its running squared gradient is large, which shrinks its step size. If a parameter has tiny gradients, the divisor shrinks, boosting its step size. ATOM, or adaptive moment estimation, combines momentum and REM-SPROP. It tracks both the first moment, which is the mean gradient, and the second moment, which is the variance. The following equations define the mathematical procedure for ATOM. M sub t equals beta sub 1 times m sub t minus 1 plus the quantity 1 minus beta sub 1 times g sub t. V sub t equals beta sub 2 times v sub t minus 1 plus the quantity 1 minus beta sub 2 times g sub t squared. M hat sub t equals m sub t divided by the quantity 1 minus beta sub 1 to the power of t. V hat sub t equals v sub t divided by the quantity 1 minus beta sub 2 to the power of t. Theta sub t plus 1 equals theta sub t minus alpha divided by the quantity the square root of v hat sub t plus epsilon, all multiplied by m hat sub t. Here m sub t and v sub t are the first and second moment vectors, beta sub 1 and beta sub 2 are decay rates, m hat sub t and v hat sub t are bias-corrected moments, alpha is the learning rate, and epsilon is a tiny constant. For step t equals 1, if gradient g sub 1 equals 2.0, and we initialize m sub 0 equals 0, v sub 0 equals 0 with beta sub 1 equals 0.9 and beta sub 2 equals 0.999, we get m sub 1 equals 0.2 and v sub 1 equals 0.004. Both are heavily biased towards 0. Applying bias corrections yields m hat sub 1 equals 0.2 divided by the quantity 1 minus 0.9 to the first power, which equals 2.0, and v hat sub 1 equals 0.004 divided by the quantity 1 minus 0.999 to the first power, which equals 4.0, which recovers the true scale of our gradients. With learning rate alpha equals 0.001 and epsilon equals 10 to the power of negative 8, the update is delta theta sub 1 equals negative 0.001 divided by the quantity the square root of 4.0 plus 10 to the power of negative 8 times 2.0, which is approximately negative 0.001. As t increases, beta sub 1 to the power of t and beta sub 2 to the power of t shrink to 0, and the bias correction naturally fades away. For the stochastic gradient descent optimizer, the memory overhead for a 1 billion parameter model is 0.00 gigabytes. Complexity per step is big O of d. The key hyperparameter is alpha, and it stalls on flat plateaus. For the momentum optimizer, the memory overhead is 4.00 gigabytes. Complexity per step is big O of d. Hyperparameters are alpha and beta equals 0.9, and its inertia helps roll through saddle points. For the root mean square propagation optimizer, or REM-SPROP, the memory overhead is 4.00 gigabytes. Complexity per step is big O of d. Hyperparameters are alpha, beta sub 2 equals 0.99 and epsilon, and it speeds up along flat axes. For the adaptive moment estimation optimizer, or ATOM, the memory overhead is 8.00 gigabytes. Complexity per step is big O of d. Hyperparameters are alpha, beta sub 1 equals 0.9, beta sub 2 equals 0.999, and epsilon, and it combines speed and inertia. Note that memory calculations assume 32-bit floating point parameters, where d equals 10 to the power of 9 parameters, and PyTorch defaults. In summary, we have seen how gradient descent acts as the mathematical engine of artificial intelligence. It takes the chaotic predictions of an untrained model, evaluates them on a lost landscape, and steps systematically toward order. Transitioning from batch updates to stochastic minibatches and adding physical momentum and adaptive scaling, optimizers like Atom allow neural networks with billions of parameters to navigate landscapes that would otherwise be impossible to climb. Next time you see an artificial intelligence generate an image or write a story, remember that under the hood, it is simply a ball rolling down a mountain finding its way in the dark. If you enjoyed this visual breakdown of gradient descent, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you do not miss our next deep dive. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.